So we just got a whole bunch of infos about the future development updates for DC Universe Online. Let's talk about it. Hello heroes and villains, welcome to Multiverse. So if you go to the forums, you will see that there is a thread where they are talking about what's coming up for DC Universe Online in the near future. I guess I should probably emphasize that plans can always change. This is what they're planning right now for DC Universe Online. It could happen that some unforeseen event changes those plans. It happens. There's this great line in The Flash from Leonard Snart, like you make the plan, you execute the plan goes wrong, you throw away the plan, and then you improvise. You get things done. Sadly, it happens more often than you would think. So it's nice to be able to plan ahead. Sadly, usually plans don't usually work out. And when you make a plan, in theory, the plan seems to work. When you apply the plan in practice, it doesn't always work. So let's take a look at some of the news. I guess the biggest news from that, for at least a lot of you guys, is that all the episodes will be free for all players. You already mentioned before the next major release. We'll see that a bit later. There's a bit of a graph showing a whole bunch of coming stuff. So I guess they were pretty happy with how the open episode worked. They decided to make the Flashpoint episode free. And I guess they're happy with also the result from that. So they've decided to make all the episodes free for everyone. So already we had the World of Flashpoint episode that was free. We had the open episodes. But now it will be pretty much an ongoing thing for everybody. Also, they mentioned that membership will see a substantial update. At this point, we have no idea what they mean. Will we get access to more content? Will we get more loyalty points every month? There's no way to know for sure. But basically what he says here is that part of this update to membership will directly address replacing members' access to all episodes benefit and then some. Like basically, one of the benefits of being a member is that you have access to all the episodes. If they gave the episodes for free to everyone, obviously it kind of lessens the value of the membership. So they are supposed to address that. I guess we'll have to wait and see for that. But you see, we want membership to be a great value that is worth more than it costs, but that also doesn't feel required to engage in the game. We have many ideas, and we have been reading yours too. Now's the time to speak up if you haven't already. So if you go to the forums, there is a thread specifically for people suggesting ideas for the membership, for whatever improvement they could add to the membership. Obviously, they're not going to listen to everyone, and you may make a suggestion that they decide not to use. But if you want to be able to have a say in what's going to happen, the time is now. Go to that thread right now, give out your suggestions, and if you're lucky, they might use some of your suggestions. If not, at least you'll have given your opinion. And then after that, he talks a bit about what happened between January and April. So he's talking about the Anti-Money Day event, which was a pretty big event this year. They added a pretty awesome looking raid that I'm sure a lot of you guys enjoyed. I know that Nix and I, when we played those missions, we had a lot of fun playing those. So the raid was a pretty big one and a pretty substantial one, so it was much appreciated. And then he mentions survival mode. Sadly, something that came out of survival mode is that apparently there's a lot of cheater pumpkin eaters. They were pretty unhappy about that, and he mentions that they too are frustrated whenever they see people cheating. Hopefully, they might be able to take some steps against that in the future. At this point, I have to admit, I guess we're gonna have to wait and see for that. And then he talks a bit about the World of Flashpoint DLC. So again, they gave us the episode for free. They gave the episode for free to everyone. And it was loosely inspired by the Flashpoint storyline. Obviously, they did not do an exact adaptation or an exact translation of the storyline, but they did include some Flashpoint-like element into it. And also, he talks a bit about some of the styles we got in the game in the past few months. The Flash and Zoom style we got for the anniversary event, that was much appreciated. The various gifts we got, the seasonals, the survival mode, the accessories, and the Flashpoint Batman inspired style and the Raven style. For Flashpoint Batman, They did a really good job with the style overall. Yeah, the emblem is a bit small on the emblem on the chest piece, but that's a minor nitpick. Overall, I see a lot of people using that style. People seems to enjoy that style. Obviously, Batman is a popular character, and the Flashpoint Batman did pretty much strike a chord with a lot of people. So having the Flashpoint Batman style in the game does open up a whole bunch of possibilities, especially for people who, there's a lot of people who want to recreate our friend Batman to play DC Universe Online, and now the Flashpoint Batman style gives us some extra options to be able to create a pretty cool looking Flashpoint Batman character. Personally, I really enjoy the cape. The cape and the headpiece were pretty much a highlight in my book, and I see the cape being used by a lot of people. The way it covers the shoulders, it was a nice cape to use. And they are mentioning that they are working on their next release after World of Flashpoint, but they're not giving any details about that. They're mentioning that the various teams are working towards that. But there was some engineering that began a major client and server performance task to make how we handle text strings more efficient. I assume that might be why we got those huge downtime not too long ago. They're probably in the process of reworking the whole infrastructure. I guess we'll have to see in the long term if it's an improvement or not. Although it may not seem like an improvement on our end, but maybe it'll make work easier for the devs. We have no way to know at this point. But what they're trying to do is that improve the performance. But he does admit that it temporarily broke the renowned tab on the live server. He says that the engineers are very sorry about that. Sadly, it's something that's been happening at DCUO for pretty much forever. Sometimes when they try to fix one thing, they end up breaking something else. It's sad, but it happens. And then he talks a bit about April and June, where we'll get the spring seasonal, which will start May 13. Then we will get the summer seasonal, so we'll get a whole bunch of new rewards thanks to those seasonal. He's mentioning the launch of a new time capsule. We'll take a look at that a bit later in the video. Of course, there's still World of Flashpoint going on, and the various bonus weeks. He mentioned that they like the bonus week, we like the bonus week. So from what he's saying, there's no reason to stop having bonus weeks at this point. And then in the next 2 months, they will continue to work on the next release, roughly this summer, and begin the most preliminary work on the release after that. So for whatever will come out roughly this fall. They'll obviously continue to work on the membership update and making episodes free for everyone. And also we had the community style initiative not too long ago where people could vote for the style they wanted to have. No real surprise here. The winner is Blue Beetle, the Jamie Reyes Blue Beetle. Personally, I'm a bit sad. I wish we had the Ted Cord Blue Beetle in the game. Although at this point, we can recreate a pretty good version of Ted Cord as Blue Beetle, so it's not a big issue. Apparently, Azrael came close second, losing by about 2% of the final vote. I'm a bit surprised. I knew Azrael had a big following. I didn't realize it was that big. So I guess our poor friend Zod had never stood a chance. Poor Zod. Let's have a minute of silence for poor Zod. Okay, that's enough. So after that, they're mentioning they're finishing up the bonus week and extra rewards for the World of Flashpoint. And they're beginning to work on the booster bundle 14 and the time capsule 21 and 22 release for later this year. So we do know that we will get a new booster bundle at some point. And obviously there's no plan to stop giving us a time capsule in the future. I know that a lot of you guys don't like those time capsule. For booster bundle, I almost understand. I remember the first time we got a booster bundle, I really didn't like those. My main reason for not liking the booster bundle is that if you're lucky, it can be very expensive. If you're unlucky, it can be very expensive to get what you want. If you get unlucky with time capsule, it costs you $1 to open one time capsule. So even if you get lucky for 1 to 10 time capsule, it costs you $10, and then afterwards you might get a bit more lucky. If you get unlucky with booster bundle, it's usually $10 per booster bundle. So if you get unlucky and you purchase 5, 6, 10 booster bundle and you get really unlucky, you've spent $100 and did not really get what you wanted. So I much prefer the time capsule because of that. If you get a bad streak of luck with time capsule, you wasted maybe $10. If you get a bad streak of bad luck with booster bundles, holy crap, it could have been expensive. Which is why I often tell people that if you want a very specific item, don't open a whole bunch of time capsule or even booster bundles. Just buy it from the broker. I understand that in some cases those items can be very expensive on the broker, but you make a choice. Either you spend $100, $200 opening booster bundle, hoping to get the rare items, or you play the broker and spend 100 million, 200 million to purchase the same item. You decide. And also, they are mentioning that they're trying to improve the server performance, which is sadly, like you can see, including work to address why performance degrades over time. It's something that's been happening in DC Universe Online for pretty much forever. It was more noticeable on PS3 for quite a while. But the more they've added new content to DC Universe Online, and the more the game was a bit unstable. There's a point where, around the time of Origin Crisis or Son of Trigon, the game was barely playable on PS3 already, and some people played on PS3 like 2 years after that. I must admit, at some point I upgraded my PC, and I had a pretty powerful PC at the time, so the performance was greatly improved when I played on PC. And then when I upgraded my PS3 to a PS4, again the difference on PS4 was quite noticeable. Sadly, as time went by, the more they've added new content and new content to DC Universe Online, the more the game started being unstable, even on PS4. It's sad, but it happens. And at this point, for some time now, we've been seeing issues on PS4 that we hadn't seen since all the way back when we used to play on PS3. Like lately, I've been sometimes falling through the floor, which is something that would happen to me eons ago, but now it started happening even on PS4. At this point, PS4 is starting to be about as stable as the game was on PS3, more or less when the game launched. So seeing how they're going to try to enhance the performance and hopefully maybe stops it from degrading over time, that would be a good thing. And some of you guys have been asking when they would work on the next gen upgrade. You can see here he mentions that our plans for PlayStation 5 native client as we continue towards, and he's mentioning that it's not just going to be like PS4 backward compatible. They are planning to launch this on a next gen platform. So we should expect a PlayStation 5 upgrade at some point. So when will we get that PlayStation 5 upgrade? At this point, we don't really know. Here they're mentioning next DCUO July in the future. So again, they're planning their next two releases, and also they're planning to introduce a major new feature. That's pretty much all they're mentioning. So your guess at this point is as good as mine. I have no idea what new major feature they might be talking about. They're talking about rolling out that membership update, the free episodes. Obviously, they will bring back the fall seasonal in October. They'll bring back the winter seasonal in December. And they will follow through on the community style initiative. So we should get the new Blue Beetle style by the end of the year, I suppose. So here we have a little graph that pretty much illustrates what we've been talking about. So for the quarter 2 of 2021, we've got the World of Flashpoint, we have the spring event, we have the summer event, and we will get the Time Capsule 21. For the third quarter of 2021, we will get the membership update, we will get the free episodes, we will get the unannounced feature that they just teased in this announcement, and there will be some content launch. So I assume the next DLC will launch in the third quarter. If I was to hazard a guess, I would guesstimate that the next DLC will probably launch sometimes in August, maybe late August, maybe early September. We'll have to wait and see for that. Because if we look at the fourth quarter of 2021, you can see that there is going to be another content launch. So my guess will be that we'll get maybe another DLC, let's say end of August, and probably the next DLC after that, maybe in November. We will get in the fourth quarter, we will get the community style, Blue Beetle style that people just voted for. And we will also get the fall event and the winter event. And of course, for the upgrade on the PlayStation 5, as you can see, it is just mentioned sometimes in the future. Seeing how they don't mention it before the fourth quarter of 2021, odds are if we do get a PlayStation 5 client, it'll be sometimes in 2022, maybe even further than that. I guess we'll have to wait and see for that. They did mention at some point that like there was this little video where they do mention that basically some bigger changes will take a long time to be able to implement. So this was a pretty big development update. And again, these are the plans that they have right now. Obviously, things could go wrong and those plans could change in the future. I guess we're gonna have to wait and see for that. But at least I hope it answered at least some of the questions that you guys had. Obviously, it doesn't answer everything. Like you guys were asking about the PlayStation 5 upgrade, a next gen upgrade. And we know that they are working on that. But at this point, we don't know when we will get that. And again, they are asking for people to give opinion, comment. So I will put a link. There's two threads where you can go and comment. So I will put the link to those two threads in the description down below. So if we take a quick look at the current and upcoming events and content, so this week we do have the bonus stabilizer fragments. So enjoy that while it lasts. So we have the spring event that is coming up May 13, and for the summer event, we will get the summer event in June. It wasn't really the video I was planning to make today. I was working on my next Nightwing video, but when I saw this announcement, obviously I had to make a video about it. I had no choice. I had to. If you have any questions, feel free to ask so in the comment section down below, and I'll see what I can do about answering your questions. I have roughly 2,000 videos about this Universe Online at this point, so if I don't answer a question right away, just search in my videos. Odds are I already made a video that answers your question. Or click one of the videos that you see on your screen right now. Bye-bye.